they're doing this game just a little bit of justice, and to that I say, mwah, chef's kiss. Or I guess in Rengoku's case, oh my. Oh my.
Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go. Everybody like, hey.
Alright, so what is up y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. So first things first, as of recently we did get the subtitled versions of both Tanjiro and Nezuko's trailers for Demon Slayer the Hinokami Chronicles. Now it's no big surprise that we have more than already had a couple of character trailers for quite some time now. Hell, just the other day we got new trailers for new skins or something like that for Giyu, Tanjiro, and Nezuko. The long and short of it is just the fact that they've been drip feeding us for a couple of months now, and you know what? I don't think anybody's complaining about that. However, getting the official title of the game as well as subtitled trailers for both Tanjiro and Nezuko kinda leads me to believe that we're getting some kind of big reveal soon, most likely at E3 considering the fact that it's right around the corner. E3 is about the perfect time to go ahead and reveal some big holiday releases, especially for new consoles and things like that, so I have no doubt in my mind we're gonna get some kind of big reveal and most likely some kind of release date very, very soon. Which is precisely why I think that now is the perfect time to start getting out all my thoughts, opinions, and just general predictions out the way. So why don't we start talking about that just a little bit. Now from a glance, I'm sure that everybody and their mothers could detect that because this game is being developed by CyberConnect 2 and, you know, just the general visuals of the game, you could probably come to the conclusion that it looks exactly like the Ninja Storm games. And you know what? I don't blame you in the slightest. It's very easy to make this mistake, especially since we're so early and we don't really have that much to work with right now. Hell, I don't think we'll be able to tell much of a difference until we finally have the game in our hands. But after looking back at the gameplay quite a bit, I could tell you two things for certain right now. For one thing, I could tell you right now that this is much better than some carbon copy of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. And two, this is probably going to be one of the highest quality, longer lasting arena fighters that we're going to have for a very long time. Or at the very least, it has a lot more potential than Kill la Kill If or the One Punch Man game. And I know you're sitting there confused because you either didn't know what those were or you completely forgot about those games because they didn't last more than a week. Sit down, fool. We got a lot to talk about. First off, I want to touch up on the control difference that they showed off a little bit of during the gameplay reveal. There were definitely a lot of instructions on that screen and I could not read a single lick of it because I can't read Japanese to save my life. However, thankfully, the controls that they were utilizing for the tutorials or the instructions or whatever was happening during that loading screen was PlayStation. And just like a big old kid with a picture book, I was able to make out a couple of differences that frankly just excite the hell out of me as to how different this game is gonna feel for us. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I get used to the default controls when I start getting into a game. In the Storm games, square was always your projectiles, triangle was always the setup to your special attacks, circle was always your basic attacks, and X was jump. Simple as that. The control scheme here seems just a tad bit more complex in a way. All I'm trying to say here is that if you're going into this thinking that you could just move around and whoop ass like you did back in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, you're gonna be in heaps of trouble. So looking at the controls here, it seems that now square is our basic attack. And that's totally fine, that's usually the standard for most fighting games anyway, so that's nothing too crazy. Now what really interests me is specifically what triangle does for us. It seems almost as if triangle is what we use to access all of our breathing techniques. In the instructions, you could see Tanjiro doing a waterfall basin by pressing the triangle button. Now that right there is where my questions start to come in. Can I just throw out a waterfall basin anytime that I want? Or do I have to incorporate it into some kind of combo somehow? Now again, there's not really much that we can actually gather from the gameplay because they're actually playing the game kind of accordingly. But if my guess is correct, that means that we could utilize that attack in any way, shape, or form that we want during a combo. And I gotta say, that right there opens up hella combo options. Now that's not to say that this is the most insanely unique thing ever to happen in a frickin' fighting game. That's not the case. However, this thing right here is probably the thing that most differs it from the Storm series. In those games, or at least the last two, most of your combo game depended on a lot of canceling, how you utilized your partners in a combo, and how you timed your items. Which for the most part were kinda limited by the way, which is very weird for projectiles. But if my little assumption here is correct and all of the specials are tied to how we utilize the triangle button, that means that we have free reign to combo however we want, and we can come up with new combos all the time. And while yes, you could mix and match for years on end utilizing Ultimate Ninja Storm's wide cast of characters, I gotta say man, that's a little overwhelming. I like to focus on 1 or 2 characters at most. I'm a little bit of a dummy, so you gotta take it easy on me. Next up, there's the fact that the circle button seems to be tied to all of your blocking, countering, and general quick movements. Now, they simplified the hell out of that, but you know what I gotta say, Chief? I'm not mad about that at all. If that's the job of that damn button, then doggone it, I'ma make sure I put that button to work. I'm sure that if you time it correctly, you then have access to that character's very unique type of counter. And you know what? That makes me very happy. I had no idea how to counter in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm for the longest time, and I still don't. This makes it a lot easier for me. Thank you, CyberConnect. But taking a quick step back, we didn't even mention the fact that the bumper buttons have their own unique uses for your combos as well. By multi-pressing the triangle button and the bumper button, you have access to a whole different technique. Now, I've seen this technique on a couple of characters, which leads me to believe that this is kind of a get-off-me technique, and I absolutely love that. It's really good to know that if I'm caught up in a combo, there's a good chance for me to get out if I know what I'm doing. That's awesome to me. Now, we could talk about what the buttons are mapped to and things like that all day, but at the end of it, we are not for sure besides the fact that we have our basic attack with square, we can access our stronger breathing attacks with triangle, and we can block, dodge, and things like that with the circle button. There's pictures there, you could see it for yourself. This is just my way of saying make sure that when you do get the game, test it out, play around, test the waters, see what I did there, and make sure you know what you're doing before you hop online. This is not Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Play it safe, y'all. The next thing that I want to talk about is just the insane combo opportunities that this game gives you. Most specifically in Makomo's trailer. There's a moment where she comfortably bounces the opponent into her ultimate, and that is super scary. Now, I know that this was a possibility to do in the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, but the way that they did it here seemed a little more smooth. You can call me wrong and you can tell me that I'm crazy, but right there, that just looked really comfortable. And I'm scared and excited all at the same time. Isn't that fascinating? Like I said about a minute ago, if my hunch is correct, we're gonna be mad as hell, but it's gonna be hype too. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention here is the possibility of setup characters much like Urodaki. In the anime, we knew Urodaki as Tanjiro's trainer. We watched him utilize a bunch of different traps and setups to properly train Tanjiro, and that is well executed and shown off in his moveset. There's one specific moment in particular where Urodaki moves out of the way and Tanjiro gets hit by a spring of bamboos that shoot out of the ground. Now, y'all can sit there and tell me if I'm wrong, go ahead, but I don't recall seeing a lot of trap or setup characters in Ultimate Ninja Storm like that. Maybe I'm wrong, you can tell me if I am, please do, but me personally, I've played a lot of that roster and I don't remember anything like that. But honestly, a character like Urodaki opens the floodgate to a plethora of characters. Setup characters, keep away characters. Weirdly enough, there's a possibility for even aerial characters if you want to get crazy with it. That last one was an absolute stretch, but you get what I'm getting at. I'm really excited to see a bunch of characters that don't do exactly the same thing. I mean, hell, basically 5 of the characters are all water users. That's already a little scary, Chief. I'm just really looking forward to seeing more, that's all. So that just about does it for all of my thoughts on this game so far. Long story short, or TLDR if you want to go with that, is this is not Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, and I'm very excited about that. I loved NUNS, but it did get tiring after, you know, a decade of pretty much the same game over and over again. It did improve, and it did get better, but it was the same game at the end of the day. At its core, it was NUNS. And I love that, but it's time for something new. And this is that. I'm looking forward to this game way more than I probably should because I'm just really looking forward to having another mindless fighting game to get into, which is part of the reason why I was so excited to make this video and more videos about the game because I'm a little limited on my main channel. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it too much. But with that, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the game. Do you think it's going to be an absolute carbon copy of the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series? Do you think this is going to be its own game and possibly more popular and bigger than the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series? Let me know all of your comments down in the comment section below. I'm always down there with y'all. But with that, it appears to be skedaddle the clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like and a comment and subscribe for more content just like this. And with that, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.